Hi guys, so today I am going to share not only a review but an incredibly generous giveaway from the people at the Picture Smart Bible. I am so excited to review this specifically because I searched this curriculum out and it has been a long decision-making process. I originally said we would never include Bible as a subject in school because I want my kids to experience it as part of life, not as a school subject. And yet, as a parent, I wasn't exactly sure where to fit it in our everyday life and how to connect it for my kids, how to have them remember anything other than simple Bible stories, and how to really get in depth with some of those other books of the Bible that aren't Noah or David and Goliath. But at the same time, any other curriculum that I found specific to a homeschool curriculum, to homeschool families, was very structured and guided for the parents. So there wasn't a lot of freedom as the parent to be the educator or to answer questions that may come up. They're very structured, as in you tell your kids what the Bible is saying, you tell them what to think about each thing, and I kind of wanted to leave it a little bit more open to interpretation and discussion. The only thing that I would really want a curriculum for is to help me make cross-references into other stories or books of the Bible and have a visual to help my kids connect. And so that's where I found the Picture Smart Bible, and I could not be more excited about bringing it into our school next year, not just for my kids, but for myself as well, because this is a curriculum that has a K through 3rd manual and also a 4th grade through adult manual, and they actually work together. So in this curriculum, you study the book of the Bible on your own with your kids. You read through it as much as you can with your younger ones. You may need to just paraphrase or read and explain what you just read. For example, in Leviticus, I don't think they'd fully understand everything that you're saying, or when you're reading through genealogy or any of that. But and then that's where the Picture Smart Bible comes in. And basically, your kids, by the time that they finish going through the entire Picture Smart Bible, will have one page, one drawing and coloring page for each book of the Bible, and every single piece of the picture that they color will have a reference to either the key themes of that book or the key characters in that book. So basically, this gives them an overview of the entire chapter, and it's broken down like 1, color this part and this means that, 2, color this part, and I'll show you that in just a minute. But you can take as much or as little time as you want on each chapter, depending on how long it takes you to read through it and what your kid's interest level is. They will have, at the end of this, a complete set of pictures. And as they go back through the pictures, for example, I'll show you, this is my daughter's drawing for Galatians. This bow and this gift represents the gift of salvation, and some people were rejecting it and some people were freely accepting it. It talks about the fruit of the Spirit. This is a power symbol, and I'll show you those power symbols in a moment as well. And it's a dove representing peace, one of the fruits of the Spirit. She taped this on. This is just a twig to connect with the dove. And this is an example or a visual of this cloud. Here is a power symbol that they reference for God. And the child being adopted. We're adopted as believers in Christ. And so what I love is that each and everything that they've done, now they can choose to just color, or they can choose to, one of the options was to cut wrapping paper and glue it onto here, but everything they do and everything they color has a reference to the key characters and the key themes of that book of the Bible. So it's just one page explaining all of Galatians, and as she moves on and gets more and more into the other chapters, if she looks back at this page, she should be able to pull out the key themes and ideas and the characters. Now for the K through 3rd grade, it's a little bit more, for example, they trace this and they just color it. For the 4th through adult, they're actually drawing these. So other than that, there's not a lot of difference. the illustrations at the end look the same. It just looks like an adult colored it versus a child. But I'm looking forward to doing this because as the teacher, I'm coloring it to show them. So I'll actually be participating with my kids. The other thing that I love about this is because we're reading the books of the Bible on our own before we are doing these illustrations. It leaves our Bible time as our family time in the evening, and then this coloring and instructional time as part of school. So I feel like it's just divided so perfectly for the part of Bible that should be a lesson versus the part that should be family time and allowing questions to arise. So the couple that created the Picture Smart Bible did so because they really believe that pictures stick, and I believe that as well. I can think of many projects from when I was younger that because I drew it or colored it or visualized it, I remember those ideas or those lessons that I learned. I really love this because this gives me freedom as the teacher and the parent to really tune this to our family, however that may look. And as we get more into this, I can show you, for example, they paraphrase a little bit and give you instructions on, or give you ideas for what to tell your kids to help them understand. But if you choose to do this completely on your own as the only instructor for your children instead of using this as a help, if you just follow along with what's in bold, those are just the instructions on what to color and what to draw. Everything else, as far as instructions and the Bible teaching, can be totally up to you. Or if you're like me and you might need a little bit of help with cross references or explanations and for a child for those topics that may arise that you're not quite sure how to explain to, say, a 7-year-old, they have just done such a beautiful job of explaining it. There are also times where, for example, I think it's in 1 Samuel, there's a little advice for parents down here that says, you may notice that we did not mention Elkanah had 2 wives. This reference is not included in the lesson to preserve the innocence of young children. It is up to your discretion if you want to make this reference. Also, the concept of a genealogy can be difficult to explain to younger children. It might help to draw boxes with names of children, parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, and so on, showing how one came after the other. It may also help to refer to Jesus' genealogy from Matthew 1 through 16, and Luke 3, 23 through 38. So I really like how they give you reasons why they left certain things out, or just leave it up to you as the parent whether or not you believe your children are ready or capable of understanding certain heavy themes. So I'm going to get down into an in-depth review here. I'm going to change my camera setup so I can show you page by page some of my favorite parts of this. But before I do that, I want to share that the Picture Smart Bible is giving a K through 3rd or 4th through adult CD. Now the value of this is $81, so this is a really generous giveaway to one winner. I'm going to link the post below with the raffle copter for how you can enter. There's a few entries that are mandatory and you can do them once, and then there's one that's just a button you can come back every single day and enter. This giveaway is going to be open for 10 days, and I'm really, really, really excited for one of you guys to receive this. It's going to be a PDF on CD, and that's, again, if you want the K through 3rd or the 4th grade through adult level. It's the Old Testament and the New Testament, so then you would just print that on your own. But like I said, it's $81. I know that is a heavy blow to my homeschool, so I'm really thankful that they're going to be putting this in one of your homes. So like I said, the information for that giveaway is below, and I'm so excited to see who wins that and to connect with that winner. Okay, let's get down to it here. So if you order the hard copy of this versus the CD or the PDF download, it will come like this. You are going to put it in your own binder, and here is what the Old Testament looks like, and here's what the New Testament looks like. They both come shrink wrapped. Within the first couple of pages, you'll see some information about the reasoning behind this method of teaching the Bible, and just some information about the goals of the curriculum. Now here, this really helps you. I totally encourage you to read this if you purchase this curriculum. Gives you information on all of the different pieces of the puzzle, so to speak. Talks about the orientation paragraph, the key characters and key concepts, supplies you'll need, the good news starburst, which I'm excited to share with you, the master drawing, student sheets, and power symbols. It also gives you some teaching tips, spiritual, emotional, and physical preparation, family time preparations, and classroom setup if you choose to use this in a classroom setting or a church setting. So this is one of my favorite parts. These are the power symbols. And these are at the beginning of the Old Testament and the New Testament, but they're the same throughout the Old Testament and the New Testament. So for example, a cloud means God. The Holy Spirit is this dove of peace. Jesus is a cross. But also this good news starburst down here represents Jesus, and it really pulls Jesus into the story of the Old Testament. So where he is throughout the New Testament physically, this good news starburst kind of represents his the prophecy and the coming of Jesus. So there's all sorts of different symbols that you'll see throughout these. There is a table of contents, and then it starts with an overview of the Old and New Testament rather than just with Genesis. So what you'll see is the picture. This is like the master drawing in the beginning, and then there is a supplies list, key characters, key concepts, and then an orientation paragraph here. Then it's broken down into different sections. These bold sections show you the instructions for the actual picture itself, and then the regular print here is just if you would like to paraphrase what you're doing instead of if you like to read what they have to say instead of kind of coming up with the concept on your own, which, like I said, this is very helpful for me because I don't quite exactly know how to explain a lot of these things to my kids. So the 4th through adult, you're actually drawing these yourself. The K through 3rd, they have a coloring page for this, so it actually looks more like this that they're starting with, and then this information tells you what to color instead of what to draw. There's review questions, and then a key verse to memorize at the end should you choose to use that. I'm not sure if we'll be using this or not, at least this year because my kids are so young. So this is what the actual books of the Bible look like. Starts with Genesis, and then here's the information on Genesis. Again, supplies, characters, concepts, and orientation. And then as you turn the page, it just shows you can make this 10 lessons if you'd like to. You can do 5 and 5 in a day. It all depends on how quickly you want to breeze through this or how detailed your children are capable of being. Here's Exodus. Now, for example, this orientation paragraph, and I'll use Exodus, this helps connect with what they've just studied and helps prepare them for what they're about to study. So, orientation. It has been 350 years since the end of Genesis. The children of Israel are still in Egypt and growing into a very large group of people. Joseph and his children have long since died. There is a king called Pharaoh ruling Egypt who has no knowledge of the great leaders like Jacob, Israel, and Joseph. This is so important to me because I am not very informed, I guess I would say. I haven't studied enough, so it's my fault, on these backstories between Genesis and Exodus. So to be completely honest, if this weren't here, I would probably believe that as soon as this ended, this began. So I would have had no idea that there had been 350 years. So that's going to be incredibly helpful for me with teaching the kids. Now there's an ant there, sorry. So again, it's just, you know, this is more what the student sheet looks like. The actual student sheets are in the back here. And I'll just show you. The only difference really is that the student sheet, they'll be tracing things, and the master drawing already has it traced and completed. They'll be writing the number 10 versus that. It's very simple tracing for them to do. It's mostly coloring, cutting, pasting, gluing that the kids will be doing at this K through 3rd level. So again, it just goes through all the way and shows you shows you piece by piece how to color each chapter page. So after you finish, and let me see if I can find an example of the Good News Starburst here for you. So Genesis 3:15 is where they have this Good News Starburst, which again is showing you, the good news of Jesus. Now where is that starburst in here? Okay. God was not happy, but he had a plan. Color the starburst. Read and write 3:15. See also Luke 2:11. God was not happy that Adam and Eve had disobeyed him. He told them to leave the beautiful garden and make their own garden. But God also told them that someday the child of a woman would destroy evil Satan. God was talking about Jesus, starburst, his son, who would come to the earth as a baby. The baby Jesus would grow up and become our Savior. That is good news. We call this the Good News Starburst. So throughout this, through all the chapters, you will see this Good News Starburst somewhere with a scripture reference for where it was mentioned. So I love that. It ties the Old and New Testament together, and even as an adult, that's going to be valuable to me. There are some books of the Bible that are shorter. Ezra and Nehemiah are both together on one page, but they still break it up. Here's Ezra, and here's Nehemiah. So as parents, you can choose to prepare as much or as little as possible. You can choose to just have your kids color, or you can craft, paste old wrinkled paper over the scroll, or you can just color as we're reading the scroll. So if you're having a really on top of it kind of a day and you've got your craft supplies ready and your kids are in the best mood, maybe it's like a Tuesday and everything's going well, certainly not a Monday or a Friday, you can go ahead and get these supplies out and make this a project. If you're just trying to get through the lesson, getting your kids to connect a little bit with what you've read, bust out a crayon and they can color that piece. Another thing I love about this curriculum is that it doesn't have time restrictions. It doesn't say Monday, read this, Tuesday, read that. It's very simple. It's as a family, read or prepare your students and your kids for what the book of the Bible is about, and then take your time and go through each of these. You may do one a day, you may do a few at a time. I just love that. I love how you can just go based on what your kids are capable of. Also, the space on the side here looks like just a wide margin, but this is actually extra room for you as the parent. And at the beginning they explain this in that parent section, to read the chapter yourself first before you try to teach it. And as you're reading it, you can make notes as you look ahead in the study about what you may want to tie in to what the curriculum is stating here. Okay, so after you get through all the master drawings and the information here for the teachers, you will come to this resources page. The Old Testament and the New Testament both have the resources. The Old Testament, it's maps and the journeys of Abraham, tabernacle, things of that sort, Solomon's temple, and throughout the study, it gives you times to pull these out as a visual. Then after this, and in the New Testament, by the way, these are like Paul's journey, maps of Paul's journey. Let's see if I can find it. The student, oh here. New Testament timeline, Palestine, Paul's first missionary journey, Paul's second journey, Paul's fourth journey. And then after you get past these resources, you get to the student sheets, and these are what you will photocopy for your kids to do as you are reading and showing them the master drawing. So it's got them all laid out evenly back here. So this is what theirs would look like. Now the New Testament is very similar. You can choose to purchase just the old, just the new, or both. You can purchase the old on CD, or it's the old and new on CD, or you can just do a digital download of the old or the new. It's all on their website that I've linked below, and they're at all different price points. So based on what your based on what your budget is, you can be anywhere from $40 for a download to about $120 for the full printed and mailed curriculum. Okay guys, so I hope that was helpful. I hope that gave you a really good idea of what this curriculum is about and how it works and how easy it can be to implement it into your homeschool or just into your family life, into your home or church life, however it may work for you. I really want to say thank you to the Picture Smart Bible and to everyone who I've been in communication with there. They're really just great people, very kind, and I'm really honored to be hosting this giveaway. Not only did they send me this for a review, but they also are very willingly putting this into someone else's hands and someone else's home, and I am just so excited to be a part of that. Now this manual is $110, but if that's not affordable, they also have different options for CDs, downloads, like the PDFs, and also additional resource CDs. So really, if you just can't swing the $110 manual, you can download just one section, the Old Testament or the New Testament, and you could be paying anywhere from $40 to $110 depending on what your needs are within your homeschool. So you're not locked into one price. There are different options for different budgets and different families. So I'm really excited about that. Before they sent this to me, I was just going to do the download. There's also a free download available. Any of you who would like to give this a shot before you purchase, or if you'd like to see how your kids respond to it. When I downloaded it, was Exodus was the free download. There's a free download for K through 3 and through 4th, and for 4th through adult. I think they said that this time it's going to be Daniel, so you can go on their website. The link for that is below, and you can download and print the lessons and go ahead and give that a try before you commit to it. I know that was very, very helpful for me in making this decision. So, like I said, the giveaway information is below. You go to my blog and you have many chances to win. I think it's up to 16 if you enter each and every day. You have 10 days. This giveaway closes on July 31st, and I will send the winner the email address of the company and the person in the company who will be shipping this directly to you. So I'm really excited. I can't wait to see who wins this. Good luck, you guys, and thanks for watching. Bye.